before a single cashew reaches your snack bowl, before its buttery flavor hits your tongue. It takes a journey far more complex and far more dangerous than most people realize. Inside this massive facility, tens of thousands of nuts move every minute. Steel drums roar, steam chambers hiss, machines crack shells with the precision of surgeons. Most people have no idea what it takes to make a cashew edible. But today, we're taking you inside the world's most powerful cashew processing line, built to handle toxic shells, brutal heat, delicate kernels, and global demand. This is the mega cashew factory you were never meant to see. Cashews are one of the world's most popular snacks. Smooth, rich, and incredibly valuable. But behind their simple appearance lies one of the most complicated nut processing operations on Earth. Each cashew grows beneath a tropical fruit, encased in a rock-hard shell filled with CNSL, cashew nutshell liquid, a corrosive toxin powerful enough to cause skin burns. That's why every cashew must go through extreme heat, pressure cracking, steam peeling, toxic oil removal, careful drying, manual inspection, high-grade sorting, nitrogen packaging, all without breaking the delicate kernel inside. This mega factory processes hundreds of tons of raw cashews per day, thousands of workers and machines, and synchronized motion exports to more than 40 countries, and a 24/7 production cycle that never stops. To see how it works, we start at the very beginning, where raw cashews first arrive from the fields. Cashews are harvested by hand. The apple is separated from the nut, each one checked for size and defects. Trucks full of raw nuts arrive at the factory's receiving zone. The nuts are poured into vast cleaning chambers where dust, sand, and debris are blown away. Quality technicians examine random samples, moisture content, density, kernel health, mold, testing foreign matter detection. Every nut must meet strict export standards. After inspection, the raw nuts fall into massive aerated silos, where airflow keeps them dry and prevents fungus from forming. But before anything else can happen, the nuts must go through fire.
Cross-referencing the checklist now. Pressure looks good.
Feeder bolts are torqued to spec. Everything is secure.
Raw cashews cannot be cracked safely without roasting. Inside these enormous drums, temperatures reach 180 to 200 degrees Celsius, 356 to 392 degrees Fahrenheit. As the drums rotate, the toxic liquid inside the shells begins to separate and neutralize. Inside the drums, shells heat evenly. Toxic oil loosens, kernels inside remain protected. Steam vents out through controlled exhaust. Workers in heat-resistant suits monitor the process from a safe distance, because the vapor released from these shells can burn human skin. Smoke filtration systems capture and treat the fumes. After roasting, the nuts pour out like a golden avalanche, still sizzling with heat. Now they are ready for one of the most dangerous steps in the entire factory. The cashew shell is rock hard, toxic, and difficult to split without damaging the kernel inside. That's why this stage uses a combination of industrial strength and human finesse. Each nut is positioned into a steel mold. Hydraulic pressure squeezes the shell open, just enough to crack it, not crush it. High-speed shot, shells pop open like tiny explosions. Workers wearing protective gloves manually adjust nuts that machines can't handle. Every cracked nut is quickly separated into shells and raw kernels. A conveyor carries the exposed kernels, still coated with a thin, bitter skin, toward drying trays. This is the turning point, where the nut finally begins to look edible. The exposed kernels are arranged on large metal trays and pushed into drying ovens. Here, the moisture is reduced to 4 to 6%, the ideal level for peeling. Next comes the steam chamber. High-pressure steam softens the thin brown skin, known as the testa. Machines vibrate and blow warm air to loosen it, but machines can only do so much. For premium grades, workers peel the skin by hand, one kernel at a time, ensuring maximum whiteness and minimum breakage. Broken cashews lose value, sometimes dropping from premium W240 grade to low-value pieces. This is where human skill matters most. Every kernel is handled with extreme care. This stage determines the value of the cashews. Cashews are graded by size, color, shape, wholeness. Defects. Automated graders separate them into world standard grades. W180, the king of cashews. W210, extra large. W240, most popular export grade. W320, smaller but affordable splits. Pieces optical sorters detect even tiny imperfections. Human inspectors confirm final quality before packaging. In this factory, nothing escapes inspection. Now the cashews take on their final personality. Some go through dry roast tunnels. Others move through oil roasting systems for a richer taste. Tumbler seasoners add flavors like salt, black pepper, honey butter, chili, lime cheese, caramel, garlic, herb. The nuts then cool on long stainless steel belts, locking in the seasoning. Every batch is tasted by the QA team before moving on. This is where raw cashews become the crunchy snacks people love.
The pH levels on batch 3 are slightly elevated.
Yes, and the mouthfeel is noticeably thinner.
It lacks the viscosity of the control.
This vanilla note is exactly what we needed.
Yes, the aroma is perfect now.
Packaging begins with multi-head weighers that measure exact portions down to the gram. Bags are opened by blasts of air. Cashews drop in with a perfect waterfall motion. The bags are nitrogen flushed to keep them fresh for months. Quality checks include metal detectors, X-ray scanners, seal integrity tests, barcode, and date coding. Robotic arms pack the pouches into boxes, seal them, stack them onto pallets, and push them toward the loading docks. Fresh cashews are now ready for the world.
Bring it back slowly, hold it right there. Now swing it to the right and lower it down easy.
Some shipments travel by refrigerated containers to preserve flavored products. Others move in massive dry
We have a
containers
temperature
destined for
spike
Europe,
on the
the
Asia
US,
Pacific
and the Middle
route,
East.
Vessel 4R.
Inside the logistics
Rerouting
control room,
coolant levels
screens
now.
track container
The shipment
movements
should
across
stabilize.
oceans. Today's output: tons of cashews, hundreds of pallets, thousands of boxes, millions of individual kernels reaching homes across the planet. What began as a raw nut under a tropical fruit is now part of a global food network. From toxic shells to delicate kernels, from roaring machines to careful hands, every cashew goes through fire, steam, steel, and human skill. It's one of the most dangerous nuts to process, and one of the most loved. This is how the world's favorite nut is crafted, one careful step at a time.